Welcome back to Awful Movie Reviews.
Don't you think we've had enough?
We're sticking with another Robert Clarke film, The Hideous Sun Demon. Yes, prolific B-movie star Robert Clarke not only was top billed in this, but he also co-wrote, produced, and directed the project, which is about as interesting as staring at a bowl of oranges.
Well, are you ready?
But just before we get going, if there's a bad movie you'd like me to review, just leave me a comment down below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to never miss out on another bad movie review every Friday and cult horror movie review every Tuesday.
No thanks. Alright.
The story is pretty standard B-movie stuff.
And let me tell you, that was no fun either.
Clarke plays a scientist who was exposed to too much radiation while in his laboratory. He seems to be fine until he's left out in the sun for too long. It makes him turn into a dangerous and frankly revolting lizard-looking monster who eventually runs amok. I respect Clarke's attempt at portraying a man who's suffering and who no one can understand. The main character becoming the monster isn't something that was all that widespread in sci-fi back in the day, but the writing is garbage, and the way that he tried to tell the story was like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole.
It's all very well for you to joke about it. It's not very funny to me.
Robert Clarke portrays the Doctor as a one-dimensional sleazy goofball.
How could he?
He's constantly going out to the bars, drinking too much, and getting into fights with people. All that when he knows that he shouldn't be out in the daylight. For a top-notch scientist, this guy certainly doesn't have two brain cells to rub together.
Boy, you got a tough one on your hands.
And he doesn't mind acting in a cringy-ass way when it comes to women.
As soon as you entered the room, your beauty so overwhelmed me that I feel as weak as a day-old kitten.
This scene right here had me baffled. I don't know what happened. The explanation for why the Doctor turns into a lizard monster is that the radiation made him evolve backwards to the prehistoric ages, which is pretty far-fetched considering the film doesn't bother to explain it very much, but I wasn't expecting that anyways. And I just couldn't help but think that with the atom bomb having been dropped like 13 years ago, maybe someone would have noticed those exact same results on a whole lot of other people before this movie did. The special effects are pretty good for this type of film. But what wasn't convincing was not only the acting, but also some of the most poorly written lines I've heard in a movie.
Whiskey and soda mix not whiskey and science.
Who in their right mind would write such shit? And then when the hideous sun demon is shot, falls off the gas tank and dies, which is frankly the best part of this movie, it tries to end with a clever one-liner, which is...
Don't cry, Anne. Perhaps you should cry. The rest of us can only hope that his life is not wasted.
Don't cry, but do cry. What the heck is that even supposed to mean? And the thing is that this movie really stretches and exploits the fuck out of this poorly written and illogical story. Most of these films were barely over an hour long just because the screenplay didn't have anything to offer, but The Hideous Sun Demon, while being part of that bad apple cart, actually goes for an hour and 15 minutes. Well, this hideous movie is an hour and 15 minutes way too long. What an awful movie.